What's up, peeps? We're back, and thank you for joining us for a very special episode of the AEW Insider. As you know, we are big fans of horror in this house, so what I decided to do was put together a list of 31 movies to watch in the month of Halloween. If you have your ways to watch them, you can watch one every day. You can watch a couple of them. You can watch them on Halloween. It doesn't matter. These movies, some are one or two are newer, just to throw them in there and give them respect. Some other ones are classics. A lot of them do take place or revolve around Halloween. I tried keeping that, you know what I mean, with the list. And some of them are just my favorites to watch around Halloween time when I was a kid. So just keep that in mind. And not the 31 films that take place all on Halloween or the best ones ever. They're just my opinion, and this is what we love to watch around our house. So let's get to number 31 on the list of 31 films to watch in the month of October. Number 31, Haunt, 2019. Produced by horror director Eli Roth. Haunt is about, on Halloween, a group of friends encounter an extreme haunted house. It promises to feed on their darkest fears. Then the night turns deadly as they come to a horrifying realization that some monsters are real. Now, this just came out, I think, on Friday the 13th. I did watch it, of course. A lot of people online seem to like it a lot. I just thought it was okay. But it definitely made the list because around Halloween time, you want to watch something with haunted houses, you know what I mean? Something scary. Excuse me, Halloween, of course. So it was good to add to the list. Just because I didn't think it was spectacular, it might not mean that you probably might think that it's good, actually. There's a lot of brutal killing in it. Not a lot, actually. It took 30 minutes for a killing to start, but there is a lot of killing. When it does happen, it is brutal, and that place is pretty serious. If you or I were stuck in that situation, you won't want to be there. So if you want to watch a haunted house movie, you know what I mean, young people, you know, it turns bad, crazy, what have you, definitely give Eli Roth's Haunt a try. Now, number 30 on the list, Hal Knight, 1981, starring Linda Blair. Now, when I was a child, a kid, I had 6 uncles, you know what I mean, of the immediate family. Plus, I had 2s from my father's side. So we always watch horror. Horror has just been the thing in our house. I don't know what it is. This movie was around when prom night was around, Carrie, you know what I mean, yada yada, what have you. What it is that fraternity and sorority pledges, you know, it stars Linda Blair, like I said, from The Exorcist, Vincent Van Patten, what have you. But these sorority and fraternity pledges agree to spend the night in a mansion haunted by victims of a family massacre. So, of course, once they get in there, all the shit starts going down. They start dying one by one, and you got to survive till the morning or just survive at all. So, with Linda Blair from The Exorcist in there and all that, in a 1980s slasher flick, you know it's a good one. So, if you want to see some college teens, you know what I mean, go and fuck around and get fucked up for that, definitely check out Hell Night. Number 29, 31, 2016. Directed by Rob Zombie, starring Sherry Moon Zombie. 31 is about 5 carnival workers who are kidnapped the night before Halloween and are held hostage in a large compound. They are at the mercy of their captors and they're forced to play a twisted game of life or death called 31. For the next 12 hours, they must fight for their lives against the endless parade of homicidal maniacs. Now, this one is a love it or hate it. A lot of people did hate it. I don't know why. 31's actually pretty good. It is exactly what you see. These peeps are carnival workers, you know what I mean? They're used to weird crap going on, moving town to town, but they get kidnapped and they gotta survive, you know what I mean? For 12 hours to the break of dawn, and all this crazy shit starts happening with them. So if you're a Rob Zombie fan, or even if you're not, if you want a Halloween-themed type movie, definitely give 31 a shot. It deserves a watch. Number 28. Pet Sematary 2, 1992, starring Eddie Furlong from Terminator 2. All right, Pet Sematary 2 is about a kid seeing his divorced mother being electrocuted in a freakish film set accident. She was an actress. He's 13 years old. It's him and his father. After that happens and his mom gets electrocuted on set, they move to the hometown of Ludlow, Maine to make a fresh start. However, as Jeff struggles to leave the bad memories behind him, his only friend tells him about an ancient burial Indian ground site with outworldly reanimating powers. Eager to test it on his dog, Zowie, the kid goes and does it, and he sees that the myth is true. Nevertheless, what would happen if Jeff buried his beloved mother's dead body in the graveyard? Can the dead truly return from the grave? So if you've seen Pet Sematary, if you've seen a remake, if you read the book, you know what this is. This one is hated too. You know how sequels go. But it's hard for me to say that this one's a lot darker and fucked up than Pet Sematary is, because that's a bold statement. But it is. This is more low budget. It's fucked up. There's sex in it, shit like that. So if you're a fan of Pet Sematary and you didn't see two, definitely give it a watch, because it's a fucked up flick. And it does go around Halloween also. All right, number 27 on the list, Sinister, 2012, starring Ethan Hawke. It's about a washed-up true crime writer. His name is Ellison Oswald. He finds a box of Super 8 movies that suggest the murder he is currently researching is the work of a serial killer whose work dates back to the 1960s. Now, to me, this is one of the better horror movies in the 2000s, literally, because there aren't that many. The bad guy of it is really, really fucking cool. He looks cool. His gimmick is cool. He's awesome. I was hoping for a sequel with more of him in it. They did make a sequel, but I didn't like Sinister 2. But it has to deal with kids. It has to deal with this scary motherfucker. It's crazy. So definitely give Sinister a watch, because it's definitely a fucked up flick. Number 26 on this list, and this will probably be on other lists that I do also, but the name of this movie is called Holidays. It was made in 2016, and it has a bunch of horror directors and writers. They each picked their own holiday, you know what I mean? And directed and wrote the story for it, what have you. Kevin Smith actually does one of them. All right, so it's about 9 filmmakers present horror stories that revolve around 8 different holidays. Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, New Year's, and of course, Halloween. You know, when you have an anthology like this, some of these are hit or miss. This has a lot more hits than misses. It is definitely worth a watch, and it's a fucked up flick. So definitely give Holidays a chance. Number 25, Halloween 3. Season of the Witch, 1982. Now, this is another one which I always say, I guess I'm just a controversial type of guy, but this one, you either love it or you hate it. I put it on the list because it is a Halloween, and it literally does take place on Halloween with fucked up shit happening. But if you're a Michael Myers fan, you won't want to see it probably, because Michael Myers is not in this movie at all, even though it is the 3rd movie in his franchise. What it is about, in a hospital emergency room doctor. His name is Dr. Dan. And his girl Ellie, they're the daughter of a murder victim. They uncover a terrible plot by a small town mask maker, a madman who's planning a Halloween mass murder utilizing ancient Celtic ritual. So as crazy as it sounds, it's fucked up. What it is that they have like this evil mad scientist, but he makes Halloween masks. There's a witch mask, a pumpkin mask, and a skeleton mask. And all the kids all over the U.S., all over the world are buying these masks. When they do play this commercial on Halloween, or whenever they play this commercial leading up to Halloween, it actually has a hidden signal in the commercial. So if you're a child or a person wearing one of those masks, something fucked up happens to you. Like worms can come out of it and eat you. It could just eat your face, blow up your head, what have you. So this is just about the mask and what fucked up things they do if you do get caught watching that commercial. So you just got to see it because it is a Halloween film. But if you're looking for Michael Myers, then you probably will pass. Like I said, that one is an acquired taste, but it had to be on the list. Number 24, Sleepy Hollow, 1999. Directed by Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. This is the old legend, tale of Ichabod Crane. The story is amazing. It's a curse of the headless horseman. It's the legacy of a small town called Sleepy Hollow. It's spearheaded by the eager constable Ichabod Crane and his new world ways into the quagmire of secrets and murder. Secrets one laid to rest, but forgotten, and none reawakened. He, too, is hiding a dark secret in his past. So what it is about a constable in this town that's being haunted by the headless horseman. It's a an ancient guy from the war, blah blah blah, what have you. Is he real? Is it somebody posing as a headless horseman? So this guy, you know what I mean? This is a period piece, of course, set back in the day, but he is a what you call a constable, but he's also like a scientist. So he has all these gadgets and shit like that, and he's trying to survive, not get his head chopped off, and find out who the headless horseman is. So I mean, this is a modern day classic. You got to check out Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. Number 23, Hocus Pocus, 1993, starring Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker. It's about after moving to Salem, Mass, a teenager explores an abandoned house with his sister, and they're also their new friend. After dismissing a story that their friend tells them as superstitious, Max accidentally frees a coven of evil witches. They used to live in that house. Now with the help of a magical cat, the kids must steal the witch's book of spells to stop them from being immortal. Now on this list, there are going to be kids movies thrown in on because it's a Halloween is about kids, besides on the adult side, what have you, and you're always watching kids movies with kids on Halloween, so we got to name a classic. Some of them are most of them are in the honorable mentions, but you of course know Hocus Pocus is one of the best Halloween films ever, not according to myself, but the people out there. It had to be on the list. All right, and number 22, and the last one of this video is going to be in 3 parts. We're going to have the next part and then the final part and the honorable mentions. Number 22 for this list is The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I'm talking about the remake version from 2014, and it's directed by Ryan Murphy, who makes American Horror Story. Now, this movie is about on Halloween, October 31st, 2013, in a small town of Texarkana, Texas. A local drive-in theater is hosting a Halloween annual showing of the 1976 film, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Like I said, I like the new version. There is one from 1976, so this is like a movie within a movie. These people in this day and age actually live in that town, but they're watching the 1976 version of it. That movie is based on a true story of the Phantom Killer, who murdered several people in that town in 1946. The killings begin again in this small town. Has the killer returned? Is it a copycat killer or something far more sinister? So I recommend watching both of these. They are fucked up flicks, and the killer is one of the craziest, scariest killers that have been made. I think he should have been given a better due. All right, well, that's the first start of our list. I hope it was enough to keep you guys tuned in to see what's left. We got a lot more movies coming up. We love horror, like I said, so this is going to be done in 2 more parts, and just the honorable mention alone are enough for you to watch on Halloween. All right, so I'm rambling on, people. Definitely check us out. We're the AEW Insider on YouTube, of course, and Facebook, and the AEW Insider 1. So definitely check out part 2 of the top 31 horror movies to watch in October.